Hey everyone, welcome to Generation Gamers and our weekly podcast. I am Mike Mullis, aka StingerNLG, with my awesome co-host.
What's going on, you guys? It's Mason, aka SiNAR 212.
Well, it's just the two of us this week, man.
Yes, it is. For our listeners out there, our other co-hosts couldn't be here today. They got a little preoccupied, so just me and you. So it's pretty good though. I mean, not there is some stuff to talk about, but not too much though. So, but we'll have some good stuff.
Well,
Well,
we got a lot of
there is
news.
good.
We got a
Yeah,
lot of news going on.
there is good news. Yeah, I meant there is.
So, and it's good. Look, it's good news all the way around. So, let's go ahead and jump right in.
Alrighty then, let's do this.
All
What you
right.
got for us?
So let's start with the big news of the weekend. You would have thought that it was GDC, but it really isn't. The Xbox One had, they have got the Titanfall bundle. They've put together the Forza bundle, and over the weekend, and I believe those sales are on through the end of today. Walmart, Amazon, Best Buy are all selling those bundles for $4.49. Now, there's other deals going on too. On Newegg.com. If you go to their site, they have the bundle, the Titanfall bundle for I'm sorry, it's the Forza bundle for
Yep,
4.99,
I saw that.
but you get a second game. So
Oh,
now you get two games for $500,
that's at Newegg.
and that's on Newegg. And Fry's is selling the Titanfall bundle for 4.79. And I haven't seen anything from GameStop yet. Nobody said anything, so I don't know. I think this is just select retailers, and it looks like it's a lot of the big box kind of stores. Amazon is of course big box, and Walmart and Best Buy. So what does this mean? Is it Microsoft in trouble because these larger big box stores are looking to clear out their inventory, or is Microsoft just adjusting to the market? And Mason, go ahead because then I've got some thoughts on this, but I want to hear yours first.
Honestly, they're not in trouble at all. I know we've had past discussions about it. I think, I really think when these MPD numbers, I mean, I'm pretty sure they already know when these MPD numbers come out and they've seen how many consoles Titanfall has sold and how many copies Titanfall just itself has sold. It's probably so hot right now. They were probably like, you know what? Screw it. Strike while the iron's hot. Drop it $50 for the weekend. I mean, keep going. Bam, bam, bam. Like I said, 450. That, and you're getting a free game, a game that's majorly holds up to the hype, even on review sides, holding up to the hype. Listen, this to all those other people that said I ain't gonna buy it till the price drops. Well, technically, it's already cheaper than the PS4. PS4 is at 400. That's just a system after tax. It's like what after it's like 415 something. That's not even counting a game. So if you buy a
And
game, that's add that $60.
and the
This,
Connect. Don't forget the
yep.
Connect.
And then with this bundle, we get Connect, the Xbox One, and you're getting Titanfall for free. I mean, you were still getting it for free even at the $500 bundle. That's a free $60 game, so you're saving about 10-15 bucks. So honestly, if someone says I still ain't buying Sephora, and you said before they're just trolling and they have nothing else to complain about. But like I said, I don't think they're not in trouble. They're just striking while the iron's hot. All right, while the iron is hot. And I definitely think they know the numbers on the inside, and they're like, all right, let's just keep going. Now, I honestly, that's about it. I was trying to think, maybe I'd think of a scenario, but they're they're making money on every system, and this is just to show, like Phil Spencer said, we're in it to win it, and they really are. They're not first. They come out with a bundle that was 500 with a free game. Now they just dropped the bundle itself $50. So you're saving $50 on the console, and you're still getting a free game. So I mean, what are your thoughts about it?
Well, I agree that they're not in trouble. I think what they're doing is they're adjusting to the market. Um, I, I bought my Xbox One at launch. You bought your Xbox One at launch, and I don't think that either of us are the least bit sorry that we did. I have
Oh,
no issue with the price. I have no issue with what I paid for. We have gotten to play some awesome games since November. We've gotten into the Titanfall beta and played that game before, however many of these people have bought the game. So I've had nothing but fun. Uh, I've gotten my use out of this system more so than even I thought I would. But the biggest barrier that I think most people are still saying keeps them from buying the Xbox One is the price. There's still many places um, that you hear that from. So Walmart and Amazon and Best Buy and these big box places are probably, they're running sales so that they can get, more out of they don't want these people going to GameStop, and I'm sure Walmart didn't want people going to Amazon to get the console, so they dropped the price to try to spur sales, which then got Best Buy not to be wanting to be left out, and then Amazon. And Amazon's not even technically dropping the price. You put in a code to get your $50 discount. So they don't even list it at 459. They list it at
Oh,
499 or
I was wondering
449 rather.
because I went on there and I still saw it for 500, but you said there's a code you have to put in there.
There's a code you put in.
Oh, okay.
So I think this is the either the start of or the test bed for what the Xbox One's pricing or pack-in is going to be going forward. I don't think they can go back to a $500 non-bundled system anymore. Maybe they don't stay at 459 or 449. I don't know why I keep saying that. I don't think they may not stay at 449, but I think after these sales are over, I think this is the last time you will see the Xbox One without a pack in. It's going to be Forza or it's going to be Titanfall. They might pack in Connect Sports Rivals. They might pack in another game down the road. But I think from here on out, you're going to see this console with a game packed in to stay $50 away from the PlayStation 4. And look, they as long as the games keep coming, those MPD numbers in February show that Microsoft, at least in North America, can keep pace with
Well,
a $100 higher price tag. So now if you keep packing a game with it, you bring that price almost to parity. Now I'll say this: if Microsoft decides that they can take the $50 hit, which I think they can, if they're making a profit on the Xbox One as they say they're making, let's say it's even 80 or $90 a console. Let's say they make that. To drop $50 off the price brings you still above profit per console even if it's a 10 $20. And then to pack in a game might bring you because retail pricing is never what they pay. So let's say it costs them $30 a copy of Titanfall. So now you're losing $10, $20 a console. I, Microsoft could take that hit. Microsoft could take that hit.
I mean, you're right, they could. Um, but I agree with you. I do think that consoles are definitely going to be that console. I think the Xbox One will probably stay with the game. But like you said, with Forza, or maybe even a downloadable title like Halo Spartan Assault or even Rayman Legends. I mean, they might just come with a code. They're all codes, aren't they? Isn't even the X?
Yeah, they're all digital download.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Well, the other alternative is they can simply just drop the price of the console down to 450 and pull the pack-in game. I think that would be just as effective. Uh, but either way, I think this is Microsoft. I think Microsoft is behind this a little bit, even though they say that the vendors themselves are the ones that can make this call. Um, nobody does this
well, and
without
especially like I
some.
said, I mean, right off, even in the beginning, they were still giving a free game away with that Titanfall bundle. Now they just so right off the bat, you can say, okay, so someone's getting a free $60 game. It's still a good value at 500. Now at 450, they drop. That's, I guess you could say that's like $100 off in a way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, 500, you're getting a free $60 game. Now it's 450. So it's like if you look at it from the sideline standpoint, you're like it's already $100 cheaper. You know, because you're getting the game and it's still $50 cheaper. So you're getting the free 60 and the 50. So, but
Now I agree.
it's
I
definitely
agree, and I
it's good. You know, I'm pretty sure like when you say when these NPD numbers come out, it's really going to be. I think these MP numbers are going to be huge. I mean, are they even? I don't even. Well, I don't know if they're selling out at Best Buy or Walmart. But I mean, I don't even know if Amazon has. Let's take a look. I don't even know if Amazon still has them in stock. Now, if they're sold out on Amazon, then that's going to be like, whoa, that's a good sign. Let's see here. Amazon, nope, they still have them. They still have the Xbox Ones in stock. So,
But they're still saying 499, right?
yep, they still say 499. Yep, the Titanfall bundle is also still in stock. Also, so yep, I'm just looking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think overall, I think Microsoft has been very fast on their feet with the Xbox One as far as listening to the feedback of the consumer and figuring out where to adjust. And I've been on the internet forums all week and I've
Hmm.
heard this is desperation time. Microsoft's really in trouble. The
I can't tell you the
Xbox
last time
One.
I can't tell you the last time I've actually been in the forum. The last time I mean I read the comments on different articles, but the last time I was in the forum was at the Xbox One forums website right before it launched, and uh, I mean that was a good site, so I give good props to them. I believe was it the Xboxforums.net or .com?
There's two of them. There's .net and .com.
I
I'm
think
on
.com
both.
was one we
But the
dude. They were
the fanboy forums have all been, oh, this is it's Microsoft can't even sell the Xbox with Titanfall. It's just the same old nonsense. But there is a perception that barrier exists, and I think Microsoft may be preparing to adjust to that, and this could be maybe they go to Walmart and say, look, we'll monetarily help support a price drop. Let's see if this actually spurs, the sales that we may not be getting now because of the price difference. And if
yeah.
this works, I think come next month, or at least as far out, or as early out as E3, I think you're going to see a price correction, and I think it's the right move.
I agree with you on
Uh,
that one. I think at E3 we'll get a definite price reduction. It'll be, I guarantee you, it'll be. I think hearing it first at Generation Gamers. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's other people, but I think at E3 that'll be the big news that they are dropping it to 450. Whether see that's where it might be different. How would you feel if they dropped it to 450 but they didn't include the game no more?
I think that would be fine.
That'd be okay.
Because now you're talking about $50. You still have the Connect, which is a differentiator between it and the PlayStation 4.
Yeah,
I think that's okay. If they go to 450 and keep including a game,
that's even
I
better.
that's huge.
Yeah, that'll be even
And
better.
and I think they could do that. Because remember, Forza is an internal developed game, as is Connect Sports Rivals. So
Forza's
Rare
already
and
made
Turn
its money
10
back, and we all know that.
and Forza's sold over 1 million copies already, so they could continue to bundle that. And Turn 10 gets their money from Microsoft regardless. So I'm not. I think they could do that. I think they could pack in Connect Sports Rivals. I think actually packing in Connect Sports Rivals might be a great idea, considering that all you hear is, oh, why is there no reason, for the Connect? There's no game to show it off. Well, now we'll pack in the game that's supposed to show it off, and
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing.
Now you
So
played
now
the.
I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying that'd be a great idea.
That'd be a big idea. That'd be a big, good idea.
Good thing, price reduction. If you haven't picked up your Xbox One, now is a great time.
Definitely now
Uh,
is a really, really great time to get one.
and we'll see what happens on Monday. Like I said, those sales are supposed to end today. We'll
Hmm.
see. All right, so let's switch gears and let's move into the post GDC wrap up. So the Game Developers Conference is over, and look, there's been some great information on the PC front. There's been some hot info on the Sony front and on the Microsoft front. And the big talk of the week has been virtual reality, and
Well, we
we
can.
kind of touched on it last week
Yep. Yep.
with thinking that Sony was going to unveil their virtual reality headset, which they have, codenamed Project Morpheus. Not something this year, looking like something that's going to hit next year or the year after.
I think a couple years.
Primarily going to go up against Oculus Rift. unless Microsoft's got something up their sleeve. Microsoft said they've been tinkering and experimenting with VR themselves, and there's been talk of their Fortaleza glasses, the augmented reality.
My
Is
opinion,
VR the next big
I,
thing, or
I
is
think
this a fad?
I think it's a fad. I mean, for one, I don't know. I don't think it's there yet. If any type of VR has the potential to really give it a run for its money, give any type of VR that I think will work, will be Oculus Rift. I mean, we don't know how long Sony's VR or even Microsoft, even who whatever company had one, but I mean that one has really showed some potential in such a fast amount of time, and including you got Carmack there, you got John Carmack from id Software's there, and then they just got the render artist from Valve there. There's really I don't know. I think Oculus Rift is really the one to go if it becomes big. And I don't know. Maybe I could see this really going to PC stuff, but it depends. I mean, a lot of these VR headsets are going to be different. I mean, in a way, we kind of seen one from Microsoft with the Illuma Room. I wouldn't really say it's a VR headset, but it's definitely would be virtual reality. I mean, because spanning that game image on the wall. Also with the Project Morpheus, yeah, it might do what it claims to do, or maybe half of it. But at the same time, though, then you got to dish out more money. You got to buy the headset. You need the PlayStation Eye. A lot of people have forgotten that you need the PlayStation Eye for Project Morpheus to work. I don't know. I hope Microsoft doesn't do one. Just stick with what they're doing right now. Even if they made one, I wouldn't buy it. And I'm an Xbox fan. Like you said, I'm not just saying this for any fanboyism. If Microsoft showed one at GDC, I'd be like, come on, man. Why are you gonna spread yourself thin? I mean, Microsoft is focusing on what two things: their computer business and now their gaming. Sony, man, I don't know, I think someone else said it. They got their PlayStation Vita, their PlayStation 3, their PlayStation 4, and now Project Morph. I mean, they got the PlayStation Eye. It's like too much to grab, too much to swallow. But I definitely think it's a fad. I don't think it'll pick up. I mean, if it did, then I would say there's a lot of hypocrites out there. Track your motion to where you could control an in-game character. VR just does virtual reality where it puts you in. It's the same, whatever.
But you still need motion
Google,
control for VR.
exactly. You still need that. Even I guarantee you, if Microsoft made one, you would need to connect. Just like how the Project Morpheus, you need the PlayStation Eye to fully utilize it. So I hope Microsoft doesn't do it. If they did, I wouldn't buy it. And trust me, you guys, everyone can mark my words on here. Like I said, I'm a big Xbox fan. I don't want Microsoft to do it, and I wouldn't buy it if they made one.
I'm intrigued because I'm a techie and an IT guy, and I don't. While I don't think it's the next big thing, I think it's something that's interesting and intriguing. There's some definite questions, whether it's Project Morpheus or Oculus Rift or Fortaleza or Fortaleza, however you pronounce that.
Yeah.
There, what exactly does it do for you gaming wise? And how much is it going to cost? And what games really are going to take advantage of it? I fell into I I'm not a hypocrite. I have great faith in Kinect, but I also had a lot of faith in 3 television. I have a pair of 3D glasses for my TV, which never get used. Um, I think that for VR to work, it has to be inexpensive, and it has to get across those barriers that you think of when you have VR, which is you got to be able to let go of a controller and reach out and manipulate the world around you.
Yeah, no,
I
if it
mean,
was like that, then yeah, I don't. I think if it was like that, that'd be different. To me, that'd be like virtual reality. This one,
well, if
you're
you're
still,
holding the
yeah,
controller
you're still
and
sitting there.
still having to move that way in a traditional way and just doing like head tracking and
Yeah,
stuff, well,
exactly.
now you've just put 2 portable televisions on your head. I
Yeah,
mean that's how I feel about it.
yeah, yep, yep. That's
One of the
exactly how.
things that I had read that you could possibly do with if Microsoft goes after the augmented reality glasses would be like you would have the example I saw was you could be playing Halo and the HUD could be
Be
in
like
your
Google,
eyes
like Google.
rather than on the screen.
Yeah,
That
like
kind of thing.
be like
Right, like Google Glasses.
yep. Like
Um,
it would
I,
like the game's still there, but you would see your little grenade or ammo on the top right corner of your glasses. Something see that's cool. That I would go for because it's stepping there. It's not fully bringing it. To me, that would be kind of cool, you know. Like if or like say if we were what was that game? Oh man, I just forgot the name. I'm I can't believe I forgot the name. Titanfall. How do I forget Titanfall? Can you imagine if our say we're playing Titanfall and the eject the but our health bar is on the rim of the glasses and telling us to eject stuff like that? I would find pretty cool because I can see they're working towards that full VR. But like you said, pretty much putting two TVs right in your eyes. That's what you're going to be sitting there holding the controller with a helmet on. That's it's pretty much you might as well just walk straight up to your 3D TV and do that. So
well, the thing about even the augmented reality is I'm not paying $300-400 for it either. Like the Illuma Room, the Illumina Room is not really a commercial product right now because it's expensive as all get out. You have to have the projector,
yeah,
and so that right there in and of itself is a $600-700 prospect at a minimum. I'm not paying $300-400 for VR or AR. It's just not happening. And look, I think that some developers seem to be very excited about Project Morpheus, and from what I understand, the demos at GDC were pretty good. They had a thief demo, they had a like an underwater shark cage demo, and they seem to work. There are some challenges. Shuei Yoshida, who talked about Drive Club being delayed, said that one of the reasons they did not delay Drive Club was they weren't putting it into VR. So a game like Drive Club
then he said he was
won't be
making
a VR game because it made him sick to
yeah.
play it.
It
He
was
said when you were driving slowly and you could look around and kind of get a feel of the environment, it was really cool. As soon as you went up to speed, it made you sick,
you started feeling
and
nauseated. Yeah, I remember that.
that's a very big issue that VR, and it's not just Project Morpheus.
It's all
It would be augmented reality, Oculus Rift, all those guys. Those guys would have to get by the ability to put that stuff right in front of your eyes without making you sick, giving you a headache. As much as the joke of the industry is the Virtual Boy, why was it a joke? Because looking that close at the images gave you headaches and made
burned
you sick.
out your eyes, red
Right.
lasers. Ah!
Well, that's it wasn't so much that it gave you headaches and
Yeah.
things like that. And virtual reality of any kind of has to get by that. And again, the thing that bugs me is the same people who poo-poo the Kinect because it's gimmicky motion control are all jumping on the VR bandwagon like it's the next big immersive
Oh
thing,
yeah,
and you
that's
can't
the way it is.
compare the two.
Yeah.
But you need motion control for VR to work.
I don't know.
Now,
I
we don't
definitely.
have we've got a long time out now. E3 is going to have much to do with it except for Oculus. I think they're going to be pushing, but you'll see it at E3 for Sony, but I don't think they're going to be a big push on it. This is a year out. It's still a prototype. And so I think once we get towards holiday time, we may start hearing more about when it's going to be out, what it's going to cost, what kind of games are going to run on it, and what the quality is. And if it's worthwhile and the price is right, then it's something that I think people could jump into. Whether the mainstream jumps into it or not is a whole different story. How many people jumped into 3D television?
Not
Not a lot.
not a lot did, and I know even now, and even when I like if I go to Best Buy, on the shelves for 3D video is just one little section, like not even a section. It's like one literally shelf part, and that's that's it. You know, it's nothing even really to grab about, but like I said, see, 3D is dying off. I mean, and that even if I was if that see if I was a Sony fan, I would probably wouldn't put any faith in it. Look how fast they abandoned the PlayStation 9. I don't care what anyone says, they abandoned that thing. We have not heard one thing about it or seen one thing about it since the reveal. And they spent what? They spent all 30 minutes on the real review for that PlayStation 9. and then that was it. Because I guarantee, and I know we're gonna get inside off track, but they were that was definitely going to be a big thing for them, and for their reasons to get rid of it. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure if people did the research, they'll find out why. But if I heard about this, I'd be like, well, I don't want to buy this, Project Morpheus, knowing that if they're there's a very high chance they're going to stop supporting it.
I think it's going to also depend on how well Oculus does. I
That
think
too.
I think that if they don't see that moving very heavy, that you know they may not really
They
go
might they could put it on
heads
the
in
back
on it.
burner. They could put it on the back burner, kind of like that. What was it? The finger thing for the Wii. Remember that?
Right.
They still didn't. Aren't they still saying they'll release it when they feel the right time is? They didn't. I don't even think they've said they discontinued. They just said to release it when the time is right. Like,
Well,
man, you guys just say, yeah, we're not making it. Sorry, Nintendo fans.
also remember accessories don't really sell. Accessories by its very nature, you fragment your base. Um, you know, I don't know. If Microsoft is doing something, it's going to be the same boat with one exception. Every Xbox One comes with Kinect, so every Xbox One is capable of doing augmented reality without having to buy extra equipment, except for whatever their device is. But even at that, it's a separate device, and it segments.
Heard one thing. You heard it here first. Heard it here first. They planned on making that augmented reality. That's why every Xbox One comes with a Kinect, so it can work with the glasses. Heard it here first. When they release it, they're gonna say, "Why do you guys think we gave you Kinect with every box?" No, I'm just teasing.
All right, it's another SiNAR 212 guarantee. All right, so that's one big thing happening that came out of GDC. Second thing, we'll just touch on this just for a brief minute because we spent a lot of time talking about DirectX 12 a couple of podcasts ago. And thank you to our listeners. That podcast took off, and we're gaining some great subscribers, and that podcast continues to be popular. So we thank you guys.
Thank you very
Um,
much.
and it seems like we were fairly on the nose with what we were talking about. So Microsoft unveiled DirectX 12 officially over GDC on Thursday. It's not just an Xbox One thing. This is a PC thing. It's actually more a PC thing than it is an Xbox thing, but it will affect the Xbox One positively. So DirectX 12, their new API is very much a code to the metal kind of API. Now, just to just to backtrack and remind everybody what DirectX is, um, DirectX is it's an API that sits between the developer's game code and the Windows layer and then the hardware. So DirectX 12 aims to get developers beyond that barrier of the Windows OS level and start coding games down really close to the metal and low level, like they used to be able to do in the DOS days, and like you can do with consoles now. So really, what they want to do is make PC development more like console development, and that's a great thing because it'll allow easier porting back and forth between console and PC,
And
and
mobile
it'll
too.
give and it'll give current GPUs and future GPUs and video cards and things like that more power to work with. So officially, this API aims to cut about 50% off CPU utilization, and that's going to help with programming. With taking some load off of the graphics units and allowing developers to streamline their code a lot better. So PCs are going to see a big jump in their development improvements, in their performance improvements. But the Xbox One is also going to benefit. Now, this looks like it's going to be sort of an extension of their mono driver, and I've read one or two places where Microsoft seems to think that they're going to get about a 20% boost out of these DirectX drivers for the Xbox One, which could be what gets the console over that 1080p 60 frame hump. And I still think these are the SDKs that the Sniper Elite developers were talking about were coming. That is going to make the system easier to develop for. And look, hey, 20% is a decent
That
jump.
that is a lot, and that'll definitely help out. And I guarantee you, watch a lot more PC developers even come to it. Also, what was it with Forza? Within a 4 month time, they were able to port. What was that? A full playable version of Forza 5 from the Xbox One to PC.
Well, what it was 4 man months. So like for one person doing it was 4 months. So if you figure the
That's it.
Forza team,
Oh,
yeah,
I thought it was like a team.
well it is a team.
I know. I
What
meant
they're
like
saying is,
4 man months. Like
yeah,
one person was
it
able to do that in 4 months.
right. So a team of people could probably did it in weeks.
That's what I meant. I thought when they said that they meant that was like the whole team. All right. I didn't know that. That's crazy. That's serious for one person in 4 months to be able to port Forza 5 from Xbox One to PC, and like you just said, to have the whole you said weeks, maybe a week, 2 weeks most. Wow.
Well, we don't know that. But I'm saying is that they were able to port that quick with no drop in quality. So what that means is we may see a lot more PC to Xbox and Xbox to PC development. Um, that may make a big difference in game development, especially if the Xbox is going to get a bump out of it. Now, obviously, there are other APIs out there. There's OpenGL, there's Mantle. The PlayStation 4 has its own API, and all those APIs are getting better.
What does
So
Nintendo run on for their API?
I don't know.
They don't use OpenGL. I remember you telling me PS4 runs OpenGL. You don't know if Nintendo
Well,
does?
it runs an OpenGL feature set. It's its own proprietary API.
Oh, okay.
So they all, I mean, consoles and PCs they are going to get better as time goes on. There's no doubt about it. The Xbox One's already getting better. The PS4 is going to get better. They're all going to get better. It's the beauty of console development. Looking at games at the beginning of the generation versus the end of the generation. DirectX 12 I think has the ability to get the Xbox One over a hump that they've been struggling with since launch. I'm not a resolution guy. You're not a resolution guy, but there's plenty of resolution warriors out
Oh, yeah,
there.
all of a sudden, right?
Right. So now I think as companies are getting the new SDKs, which probably have a lot of this DirectX 12 feature set in it, it's why you're seeing guys like Sniper, the Sniper Elite developers saying now they can hit 1080p easily on the system. It's why you've got games like Wolfenstein, which is going to be 1080 60 on both consoles. And I think going forward, I think you're going to see the consoles finally sort of come together in parity in frame rate and resolution, and that's a good thing.
That's good to hear. Yeah, that's good to hear.
So the other thing is another big push from Microsoft is their Xbox indie development, their ID at Xbox program. They had a little showing there over the week where they had 25 upcoming ID at Xbox games. Some really, actually, some fun stuff that I could see like my kids liking. There's an 8-player jet ski racing game that's being ported over called Riptide. There is there's a game or two that's sort of Connect centric. There's the Super Time Force, which is coming out. Um, we're going to get a couple of pinball games now, as Pinball Arcade and Pinball FX2 are coming. The 250 developers have kits and are in the program, so I think that I think they're making strides, and I'm interested to see what's coming.
It's definitely it's good to hear. Well, mighty number nine for me. Woo!
There's a list that we posted on our Twitter page, and we can repost it after the podcast is up. Just letting you know what these games are, where you can find trailers for them, and some of them should be hitting soon. The certification for them has they've gone to certification, so
The
I'm
one
pretty
that I
sure.
see, the one that makes me nervous is that game below. Just we can touch on it real quick. I don't know if you remember seeing that during E3. It was like a very high top down view of like I know some people said it kind of reminded them of Zelda, and it was like this little character with a sword going in like mountains and open areas. It looked really, really intriguing. Well, I guess we haven't heard anything about it, and I guess OXM UK had an interview with them, and they said they've just been working on it. They said they won't have anything at this GDC that just passed, but they said you will see some of the E3. But then they said, but we can't stress enough, things have changed differently. And that's all they said. And I'm like, oh man. So more than likely, this game is not going to be the game that they showed at E3 last year. So if anyone has a chance, just type in below E3 trailer, and when you see it, you're like, wow, that looks really good. But then I'm just curious. They said things have changed since that trailer, and I'm like, oh, that's like a bad feeling in my stomach. So hopefully it's hopefully it's not what I think they're talking about. But that's all I wanted to say in for that.
Well, we'll see. It can still come out very nice, and I know they're working hard on it. But it's going to get augmented with a bunch of other games, and so uh, the big thing always was PlayStation loves indies, and that's still true. There's still a ton of indie developers out there for the PlayStation 4, and they're going to get a bunch of great games.
Oh,
But now the Xbox One is going to get a set of great indie games as well, and that's a uh, that's a good thing for the industry,
it's good to
especially
have,
to fill.
especially on Xbox One, just so people know, it's good to have. It's good to have those awesome indies along with other amazing AAA games that we have on the console right now.
Got to fill the space out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can't, and that's still good. I mean, it's different having just like. Never mind. I was about to get off to a rant there, and I didn't want the listeners to think I'm just saying. Like I've said, all right, I'll say it. I just don't want to buy $400 to play just indie games. But okay, so let's go ahead and move on.
Well, okay, so all right, cool. Well, this brings us to our quick hits section. There's a bunch of news out there I want to just touch on, uh, and one of them is we were wrong on our infamous release date. I don't know why. Infamous released on Friday,
Yeah,
so
I was just looking at that. Somebody had texted me. Well, no, I it was available on Tuesday digitally, but it released Friday disc. I had somebody at work that I work with said he just got it from Amazon. Disc came out on the 21st, Friday, and then but it was officially available to download only on Tuesday. So
all
that
right. So
was
we apologize to our listeners. We missed the release date on that.
I swore I
We'll
thought they
make
said
sure we
25th.
Yeah, we'll make sure we do better in the future when we're talking about release dates. But it's out, and Mason, here's your AAA game for the PlayStation 4. It is actually getting pretty good reviews on Metacritic. It's scoring at about the low 80s, but there have been some sites that have given it some really high marks. Um,
I know from
it's
what I've been seeing is a lot of just from Twitter feeds and these, of course, different opinions, but also when you go to these sites, a lot of PlayStation centric only sites are giving this game a perfect score. And some people could say the same thing about Xbox sites only, but I've seen a couple sites to where they haven't given Titanfall a full, uh, 10 out of 10 or 5 out of 5. They've laying their complaints, but these are sites, PlayStation fan sites that are giving this game a straight 100%, 10 out of 10, 5 out of, 100 best words. And you got big sites like IGN or GameSpot or Kotaku. They like the game, but then they don't give it a perfect score. And there's some, like you said, Metacritic has been giving it a
I don't know that perfect scores mean anything anymore. I mean,
I would say I
that's
agree. I think that those are dying off as much, man. I remember when the 360 and PS3 when PS3 first came out, those people were literally I had friends buying games based on those reviews. Like they
Infamous
were
getting an 8.7 on IGN is still a great score. I mean, 8.7 is very close to excellent.
yes, yes.
So, I think I guess my point is since you have the PS4, have you gotten it yet?
Yeah, I do have it.
Have you started playing it yet?
Oh, are you talking about Infamous? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought I heard you say have I gotten a PS4? No.
No, you have a PS4.
Yes.
So, are you getting Infamous?
No, I'm not. Um The only game I have on my PS4 right now is Outlast. Which we did a review. Scary as hell. I'm telling you, that game's terrifying. But um, there's nothing on there right now. Okay, so that gives me three AAA titles that I can shoot: Killzone, Knack, or Infamous. No, especially since Titanfall's out right now. There's nothing on there. Maybe The Last Guardian. You heard it here first. 2018 is when it's coming out. June 17th, 2018. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
He even
yeah,
said the day.
that.
Well, okay,
We all know
so
it's coming
you're
out.
not getting Infamous yourself, but you argued with me last week that it was going to outsell Titanfall.
Yes, it will. It will. Because I mean, we
But
said
you're not getting it.
no. I'm not getting it. I'm not going to be the person that's gonna. I'm just saying that's the we gave our reasons why, but no, like I said, that'll definitely.
But if it doesn't even sell to you that has nothing else to play but Outlast, and I think before we move
But
any
also,
further,
mean
um,
like me and also like you. I'm not a Ravage fanboy, and I'm not deep down inside starving of hunger. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure if I didn't have an Xbox One, I would. If I didn't have an Xbox One, I definitely would. I definitely would have Infamous. But
well, now I'm curious. Now I'm really curious how this sales numbers are going to go. I'm still very
since
confident.
we were wrong about the release date, so it was closer to just a week after Titanfall. Then
But it is out and it is scoring well. So I do expect that it's going to be a big seller. It does looks fantastic.
does
The
definitely.
only the people that were complaining were more complaining about a lot of the repetitious gameplay and things like that. But I got news for people. It's open world. It's going to be repetitious.
Yeah.
Anybody who's played through Assassin's Creed knows it's repetitious. Anyone who's played through Grand Theft Auto knows it's repetitious. I don't think that you can attack an open world game, for having repetitious gameplay. But what else are you going to do? I mean,
Yeah.
I played through Dead Rising 3. It was repetitious as all get out. It was
Oh
still
yeah.
fun. I still considered that a next gen game, but it was you just can't judge a game like that based on that. So
Yeah.
the other game that came out is Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero. It's
Joke.
out. I don't know if I'm getting that one at
Honestly,
all.
this is I after I read the review from not GameSpot, might have been Gamerside or whatever. One of the guys there, and I guarantee you, I mean, he's probably good, but for 40 bucks, and he was able to beat that game in 18 minutes with an S rank. No,
Yeah,
if it was 10
that's
bucks,
just not happening.
maybe. If it was a Peggle 2 price, like 12 bucks, I'd probably buy it. I'm not spending $40. Yeah, it looks awesome, but I'm not spending $40 on a game that I could possibly beat in under 20 minutes with the highest rank. No, 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 no.
Nope, me either. And you know what? Because I still have other $40 games I need to pick up. Once
Yeah,
I'm uh, once I'm finished with Rayman, which, by the way, also we have a review up for Rayman Legends if you haven't checked it out.
do
Summary:
it.
best $40 you'll ever spend. But
And I'm pretty sure I'll get that when I win that bet.
otherwise you're buying me Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare, because that's the next game I need to get.
I thought,
Um,
Chris, I thought you. Oh no, you bought Rayman.
no, I didn't,
Yeah.
because I wanted to get Titanfall,
Yeah.
so I had to make a choice between Titanfall and Plants and Zombies. But everybody I see on Twitter talk about that game, I have not heard one single bad thing about Plants vs Zombies. And this week they released some free DLC. Free DLC, and it's substantial too. It's one of my friends at work that plays it says it's awesome. So, if you are a Plants vs Zombies player, get your free DLC. It's out. And I will be getting Plants vs Zombies soon. It's my next game on my list.
Yeah.
Next to it's going to be that, and then Connect Sports Rivals. But Plants vs Zombies, I got to get.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely fun.
uh, yeah. Um, Respawn updated. Since we talked, touching on Titanfall. Respawn updated their servers over the weekend. They have begun to do some balance and bug fixes. Some for the good, some for the bad. They dropped, for example, they dropped the amount of points you get for defending your hardpoint sites, which I thought was the whole point of the game, of that game mode. So I guess you have to, you know, be better at defense, the hardpoint sites. Um, but they made a number of different bug fixes and changes. And there's a if you go to their Titanfall.com site, you can see the entire list.
Yep.
Um, I'll tell you what, we'll tweet that list for everybody. Link for everybody after the podcast is up, and you could check it out. If you have not gotten up to speed with Titanfall yet, go get it. This game is freaking awesome.
And it lives up
And
to it, guys. Trust us. Take it from us. It's awesome.
yeah, and come find us. Stinger NLG, SiNAR 212. Come find us
Definitely.
online.
We're more than happy to be able to play with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll tweet that out. Let's see. Um, oh, some big news out of Microsoft. So Mark Whitten left the company. He announced that he was stepping down as the product manager for Xbox, or chief product officer for Xbox.
Oh man, I just thought of something. Since he left, Jack Trenton's coming to Microsoft. Watch. You heard it here first.
Oh, Mason, you
Oh.
love to drop the bombs, don't you? But it's kind of funny because Mark Whitten, he's been at the chief product officer for the Xbox product as long as Jack Trent has been at Sony for the PlayStation side. I mean, they're both 15-year veterans of the industry, and I've had the opportunity to talk to Mark Whitten 3 or 4 times at past E3s, and the guy was really passionate about the Xbox and about what Microsoft wanted to do in the console space, and he's going to be missed. I know that they're continuing a reshuffling, and I know that they're filling that spot. I cannot remember the gentleman's name off the top of my head, but Mark's going to be missed. He really was a good guy, and Sonos, who makes Wi-Fi audio equipment, he is going there to be that company's chief product officer, and they're really picking up an excellent guy. So, on behalf of the Generation Gamers crew, Mark, hopefully we'll still see you online, uh, and hopefully we get some games in with you. But we're gonna miss you, and as well as we said, we're gonna miss Jack Trenton, and we're gonna miss these guys that have given up long-standing company company years to go off and pursue other things. It across the entire game space, whether it's Nintendo, Sony, or Microsoft. These are the guys that we grew up with, or at least for me in my journalism career when I was doing it, I grew up watching and talking to. So,
I
Mark, we're
agree.
gonna miss you. Speaking of, the April preview updates have been rolling out for the Xbox
Did you?
One. I just got one right before we
Oh, you
started the
just got yours?
podcast.
Okay, see,
Well, I got my second one. I got my first one. They were rolling this one out in phases. So I got the first one a few days ago, and
so
then
that
I just got this new one.
is that new one? Is that the friend notifications then?
They're still working on what they've put out in this one. Like I say, we just got it.
I got
So
the
we'll
first
test
one.
that a little later.
I got the chat mix one later. I thought that one had the friend notifications on it, but nothing was ever popping up. So probably who knows? Maybe the one you just got is for friend notifications. Maybe.
Yeah, we could actually test that afterwards if you like. But no, some interesting things that have been in this preview so far. The audio mixing is a big step forward. Being able to figure out, to decide what your balance is between party chat and game, between connect chat and regular audio, and the one that I like the most, actually, is the balance between your Snap app and your main app.
Yep.
So if I want to play Forza, which I typically will play Forza or Madden, and then I'll watch TV while I'm playing. Uh, it's hard to. I end up having to turn down the in-game audio so I could hear the TV. Well, now that's a system setting, so that's pretty nice.
That is pretty cool then. Yeah, definitely come in handy. I know
Yeah.
the other one for the chat mixer was whenever we used to join a party, even if you had your headset plugged in, it would automatically lower the volume of your game. Now you can set it to where it's 80, 50, or do nothing. And I have it do nothing because I hated when it did that. Even when I was watching a movie or just playing a game, if I joined a party, it would lower that game volume. So now I can just, talk regularly and my game volume won't get turned down.
Yeah, there's some good stuff. And so the friend notification is kind of the big one, and I think they're rolling that in, or if it's not this patch, it'll be the next patch. And then once it's been thoroughly beta tested and whatnot, then the whole thing. I mean it'll all roll out together when the general release comes out, but just for us beta testers, they're rolling it out in phases just to make sure they fix the things that they break before the next one comes out.
Yeah, yeah.
So, last what I have on my list last was somebody leaked out a new Assassin's Creed trailer,
Uh,
and it forced Ubisoft to go ahead and officially announce Assassin's Creed Unity. So
and
before you groan, hold on, before you groan, it is not a cross-generation game.
it's the
So
first one and one.
just like Batman Arkham Knight, this is just PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4.
I
No
know.
more.
I never got into them. It's just, man, there's like so many, man. It's like, come on. It's like, you
Well,
remind me of like a Call of Duty. Didn't Assassin's Creed 4 just come out?
it did. And look, 1 and 2 for me were awesome. Brotherhood was really good. 3, I didn't enjoy. I stopped playing midway through 3. I
I,
still want to get 4, and I will at some point. I mean, I like Assassin's Creed. I'm with you. I think it's the same old, same old, same old. And again, here we go, open world game. It's the same gameplay. So one of the things that I think would frustrate me if I'm sucker punched with the Infamous reviews is I don't think anybody said anything about repetitive gameplay in Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but they talked about it in Infamous. So I can see where there's some frustration.
yeah.
By the way, and I meant to mention this earlier, so to just jump off track for just a second, I had forgotten about this. There's the day one patch for Infamous has like 5 hours of extra gameplay and extra missions and stuff. So if you do get the game, right off the bat, you're getting some I guess some DLC.
S-
Cool stuff.
was it free?
Yeah, it's a
Well,
day one
it
patch.
wasn't finished. Just so anyone wonders why I just said that, when Forza 5 first came out, remember the first day one patch they had? And
Oh, I know.
it was
The
free.
game's not finished.
The
Yada
game's
yada
not
yada.
finished. Why are they releasing it? But hey, Infamous is doing the same thing, but it's okay. Just so our listeners to see how it is. Forza 5
I know.
came out. They had day one
I
stuff.
didn't subscribe to that theory then. I don't subscribe to it now. I think for Infamous is a great thing.
Yeah,
You get it's content that they couldn't finish when they brought the game to certification.
yeah. And that's
Get used to it, internet.
yep.
Get used to it. This is
That's
what's going to happen.
when I told
As Adam Orth said a year and a half ago, deal with it.
even
This
then,
is how
even then, I mean, it's free. It's free.
right.
I'll get
It
close
was
to the
like
mic. It's free.
yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a day one deal. Whatever. That's like you said. Deal with it. I wish I had. Here's my glasses. You can't see, but deal with it.
So anyway, I'm sorry. Getting back to Assassin's Creed, um, the reason that this is kind of it's not a cross-gen game, so it is only next-gen console, and it's built off their new Snowdrop engine, and that engine looks phenomenal. So you start combining that engine with um, DirectX 12 and Mantle and all that kind of thing, and on the PC and on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, there should be no reason for 1080p on all consoles, and there should be no reason why this is not a spectacular looking game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll look
Uh,
really awesome when it comes out.
so that's all the quick hit news I've got. Mason, you got anything?
Real quick, I did hear this is kind of a rumor, but I heard I guess Nintendo is going to announce their another Zelda game coming. It's gonna be supposedly it's gonna be called The Secret of Zelda, and it's gonna be they're gonna announce it at this E3. But other than that, though, like you said, I mean, other than that $50 price drop, that's pretty much been it. I mean, I think things are kind of being held back. We got E3 coming up here pretty soon, so maybe next week our podcast will spend a little bit of time on our you know on our podcast. We'll talk about E3. So
Yeah, because companies are starting to already talk about it. Phil Spencer tweeted this week they're already over their 90 minutes of content. Yeah, they have a timed conference that's an hour and a half. They're having to start looking at what to cut out of the show, and it's going to be all games. It's going to be completely games. No executives out talking. It looks like it's going to be trailer fest like it was last year. So
good.
we're going to have a lot to talk about over the next few weeks about what's coming to E3, and I'm genuinely curious as to what's going to get announced, not just by Microsoft, uh, but by Nintendo and Sony. And I'm curious. This is going to be a big E3,
Yep. Because all
bigger than
three.
last year.
Oh yeah, all three consoles are out now. Let's see what they got.
Exactly.
So
So, well, that's going to do it for us. As always, Generation Gamer followers, we love the fact that you are tuning in, checking us out. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube page. It's that little button right up in the upper corner, right hand corner that says subscribe. You just got to click it. It's a little mini mouse. You just move the mouse and hit click, and you subscribe. And then you can check out all of our videos when they're released, including our Wednesday review videos.
speaking of
Uh,
Wednesday reviews, we this Wednesday we will have our video game. Well, Generation Games. We're going to be doing our review for Killer Instinct, and it's going to be held by a good friend of ours, Jesse, aka Nostalgia. So he's gonna what I'm doing. I'm just gonna do like small interview questions, and he'll be able to answer them, and we'll have some gameplay footage of Killer Instinct. So hopefully you guys be able to enjoy that on Wednesday.
and as always, follow us on Twitter at gen_gamers. We'll tweet when we're twitching things. So our Twitch pages are StingerNLG and SiNAR212. And don't forget, leave us some comments. Let us know how we're doing. And I think that is it for this week.
I believe so.
Um,
Yeah.
so I am Mike Mullis, aka StingerNLG. Mason, take us out.
This is Mason, aka SiNAR212. Thanks for watching, you guys, and you know what we always say: game on.
Game on.